Be excellent to each other and party on. We're back for another Legacy League, and today we are playing mono blue Merfolk with no reserve list cards. You can build this entire deck for a few $100s, and it's quite strong. We're playing the Aether Vial version with the 4 Wastelands and 3 Dazes to be able to protect our payload and stop combo. We have all the greats here. We've got, of course, Mistcolor. I'm playing 4 of these. This is to combat Reanimator. This is also really good against Oops All spells. It's really good against Show and Tell strategies. So I think it's a 4 of. And then what we can do if we're not in one of those matchups is we can bring in some better cards from the sideboard like Harbinger of the Seas or True Name Nemesis. We've got 2 of each of those in the sideboard. But we are very low to the ground here with Tideshaper, who can make an island on our opponent's side if they don't naturally have them, so we can get Island Walk from one of our many lords. Lord of Atlantis, of course, the classic alpha card, and Master of the Pearl Trident, which is functionally similar. We also have Bedolian Hexcatcher, which is maybe the best lord of them all in terms of buffing your creatures, but also being disruptive and having flash, which is very cool. We have gone up to 4 Silvergill here. I like Silvergill a lot because it keeps the bodies coming, and it is a kind of decent beater on its own, assuming you're not up against exactly Bowmaster. Floodpit Drowner has overperformed for me. This card is incredible in a tempo shell. The fact that it has vigilance and can use its ability after it's gotten an attack in, so sweet. So basically, end step, you just flash it in, you tap down their Barragoyf or whatever, then you go to combat, you attack for a bunch of damage, and then after combat, you just shuffle the Floodpit Drowner and the Barragoyf into their respective decks, and then you just keep piling on more and more advantage. We have a very heavy Sink into Stupor tinge to our deck here today, and that is because we want to be able to play like 19 mana sources, but we also want to have lots of cards to pitch to force, and because we got the vials, we may not even need these. A lot of games I win with just like 1 land in play. So it'll be exciting to see how this goes. Oh, the other card that is worth noting, Mindspring Merfolk. I've got 2 of these. This is one of the best Merfolks ever printed for its mana value. Like 1 mana to have this exhaust ability where you can draw cards and put +1/+1 counters on all your Merfolk. You can even do X = 0 if you just want to buff your squad real quick. This card is really strong. So we're going to play a full 5 rounds as always. We are going to respect Karnforge. We're going to respect Moonstompy. And of course, we've got main deck respect for Reanimator. And we are going to hopefully get some W's. Should be fun. See you in round 1. All right, round 1. We're up against a fan of the channel, Harvey Dent. Let's see here. Most often on Reanimator, so Mistcolor is just insane against that. I'm going to keep this assuming that they're on Reanimator. We're on the play too, which is great. Those Island. And let's just put it out there just in case they have a Degenerate turn 1 in store for us. This card is really strong against Reanimator. Not only does it stop the main plan, the Entomb Reanimate plan, but this also stops Show and Tell, which they'll often use to get into a fatty into play. All right, that is a Force of Will. So Reanimator confirmed. I don't know why you would force that if you weren't on. Yeah, so next turn we'll just try to do it again. They're on the blue-black variant, most likely. They did pitch an Atraxa there. Oh, they could be on Show and Tell. Sneak and Show. Yeah, I'm thinking there's Sneak and Show if they care about Mistcolor. We can actually double spell here. Oh. Did they shuffle that Ponder? They did. This makes me want to go ahead and Mistcolor and then waste them. The other play is I could just drop the Tideshaper and get a little more pressure on them because they may not be mana screwed. They may just be looking for action. They may have plenty of lands. So I'm going to do that. We're in, and now a Tideshaper as well. We don't have to kick it. I mean, we could kick it, but I'm not going to wait around. This already gets the buff because they have an island in play. All right. So they did have a second land, so I think we did the correct thing here. I'm going to play this out. Just in case they have a way to ambush, it does... I'm trying to think, like, I can't imagine them having an ambush thing. They could have, like, a Snapcaster or something. I don't know. They pitched an Atraxa. Clearly on a Sneak and Show. I'm just going to go ahead and play this out and draw my card. So I'll reveal my Lord of Atlantis, and let's see if we can draw into a Daze or a Force. All right, Flood Pit. That's not bad. I'm going to come in for a hug. And I'm going to go ahead and waste them in their upkeep, I guess. They're fetching here. I think it's totally fine to, I'm trying to think of what they could do in their upkeep. I'm just going to waste them here. Graveyard. Okay, interesting. All right, so once we play this Lord of Atlantis, we're going to have a lot of pressure. I guess I can play the Vial out too. I definitely want this Lord coming down. So they're not dead, but they are very close. Like, they're dead on board. They're taking 8 here. This is all unblockable too. If I play this out, they know that I don't have Force of Will. I'm going to bet that it doesn't matter. And I'd rather them not know what's in my hand. Brainstorm. Okay, that's good. I think we won. Because they're not going to be able to find enough mana and an enabler, I don't think. Like, they could have Omniscience. I will pop the Mistcaller. Because they could show and tell Omniscience. Now they can't Omniscience. Brainstorm again. Okay. Yeah, I genuinely cannot think of how they can get out of this now. Okay. So we did what we wanted to do there. Let's talk about what's coming in. Blue Elemental Blast comes in. I think Force of Negations come in. Harbinger can come in. I mean, they're playing like a lot of colors here. Let's talk about what doesn't really matter. I don't think Daze is going to be great on the draw here. They didn't see it, but I mean, we kind of are upgrading to Force of Negation. I think a Harbinger's okay here because it's unlikely they have basic Mountain in their deck or basic. What will we cut though? Like, I like just killing them dead quickly, and that's something we do here. Flip-It Drowner is good in case they do somehow manage to get something into play. Yeah, I like just being low to the ground here. If we're bringing in these blasts, we're taking out the Dazes. I think I'm going to cut some Masters. Or I'll cut the Lord. Technically, Master is better than Lord, just in case they like somehow have a Merfolk. Yeah, I mean, that might seem kind of like a weird play, but like everything else is disruptive in some way or another. Let's do that. All right, another Mistcaller hand. The hand doesn't do anything other than Mistcaller, but that's okay. Mistcaller is so good against their deck. I almost kind of want to like slow roll it because we have the Hydroblast, their Pyroblast, and they are most definitely going to want a Pyroblast Mistcaller. It would be embarrassing to lose to Show and Tell when we have the Mistcaller though, so I'm just going to play it out. Now they have to find a Blast. Most likely card they're going to have to remove this. Brainstorm. They're getting a perfect Brainstorm here. All right. Another island. I don't hate these Sink into Stupors. I think I'm just going to Mind Spring here. And then I hold up Hydroblast in case they do have a Pyro for us. And then we'll just come in for one. It's a slow clock, but again, we're being careful. We're protecting ourselves. Sink into Stupor like 3 turns in a row to stop the thing. Would be pretty strong. Okay, they're surveilling here. So they did get the perfect Brainstorm plus the shuffle. They've gotten a lot of card selection for sure. They've been a force. Ponder. Even more card selection. Wasteland. I think I like this. Options. So we can do this, I believe, only as a sorcery. No, wait, we can do this anytime. So I think what I do is I just attack with a Mistcaller and then I can end step if they don't do anything worth countering. The other option is we play this out untapped and then we just play the Master and we hit them harder. I like that plan. I want to be able to waste the uncounterability guy. But technically Sink into Super doesn't care about uncounterability. It'll still bounce it right back to hand. So maybe that's fine. I'm just going to play this out and then my deck is extremely mana hungry here. Now we're just going to go ahead and play this Master out. And we'll just attack for 4. Continuing to hold up Hydroblast. It will be annoying if they're able to get a 1 ring out for sure. Okay, I think we have a sneak attack coming in. Show and Tell. Well, I don't really have a choice here. I'm just going to go and sack this. And this could be bait. All right, so they may be putting Omniscience in now. Note that we cannot put a creature in. We don't have a creature, but it would get exiled if we did. Okay, they do have Omniscience. Oof. And that is cast, and that's going to be game because they have the attack. They cast it straight up. So, okay, that worked. All right. Consigned does stop Emrakul, but it doesn't stop enough. I don't think it's correct to play it. Yeah, we played it slow there and we got punished. They were able to assemble the line. I think I do like this configuration though. We could bring the daisies back in. I think it's going to be better to have force negation. They're going to go slow here. Like we'll try to put them under pressure, but we may not be able to put them under enough. I do believe they're on a sneak attack deck though, and that they just happen to have a few omnisciences in their deck, like probably just 2. Okay, so hopefully Harvey Dent will stick around and answer some questions that I have after. This seems totally fine. I mean, it's not like an exceptional hand, but it does have force blue card, and we can come out swinging with these Type Shapers. I think I'm going to just keep this, and I'm just going to start stamping out Type Shapers every turn, because they attack for 2, assuming they play an island out, which I believe almost all the lands in their deck are islands. They may be able to hide behind a fetch for a while, and then Mindspring is going to kick these into overdrive and make them like 3/3. So they're basically flip Delvers once that happens. Okay, and they are choosing to just be patient, which is totally fine. Oh, that's a good rip, I think. It's not actually a great rip. I'm going to play this out. You know what? I think I do want to just... Let's see. Next turn we could Mindspring for 1 and buff everybody. We might as well play this file out. I seriously doubt they're going to have days, and I don't think they're going to go for it next turn. Okay, and I am going to play out the Tide Shipper, just because when they inevitably eventually have to fetch, we're going to be hitting them harder. Mindspring Merfolk is certainly good, but if we don't draw enough land, because I might have to pitch this Sink into Stupor to force. I'll probably actually be pitching this, just so I still have some interaction. Okay, and they predictably did eventually do that. So we don't know what they have here. Brainstorm. They did keep their top card, though. All right, they're fetching again. It's a Trop. It's a Carpet. That's fine. It does make me less keen to waste them. The Ponder. Pedal. Yeah, I think it's probably still worth wasting them. Okay, and we drew the second Mindspring. We could play the Sink and we could trigger Mindspring next turn. Yeah, I'm going to play at the Sink into Stupor. I'm going to play it out untapped. The reason I'm doing this is because they could have like Flusterstorm or something on force, and I just want to max the mana I have available, and then I'll just drop the Mindspring in instep. It will have Summoning Sickness anyway, so I'm not going to be able to use its exhaust ability. And hopefully they don't go for it this next turn, but they absolutely could. I mean, they did keep on their thing, and they didn't shuffle that Ponder, did they? Yeah, they didn't shuffle Ponder. So they're drawing what they need to draw. I wouldn't be surprised if this is just a very quick show and tell with like Veil Protection or something like that. Stock up is fine. I'm not going to force that. So we will be hitting them for 8 next turn, and we'll draw a card. Okay, that's fine. Like, this is not that scary because I'm never going to play another island at this point. Like, it'd be foolish to play one. Okay. So, best thing we could draw would probably be Vidolian Hexcatcher. Force Negation is not bad at all. Does make me ask if I really want a Mindspring here. Well, we're going to draw a card. It's scary because we may not draw a blue card. Like, almost every card. We have like 40 blue cards in our deck. Yeah, let's see. I think it's very likely we draw a blue card here. I'm going to use the ability. So we'll draw. Okay, that's unfortunate. That's very unfortunate. But I do need to play it out. And then, unfortunately, I probably also need to play this Merfolk out. And then we just have to hope. Yeah, I said these were going to be attacking for 4/4. They're not going to be attacking for 4/4. But we are going to be able to kill them next turn. So we just have to hope that this force is going to be enough, which there's no way it is. Oh, I gave him a freaking extra mana. That was dumb. That was really dumb. I'm sorry, my excellent friends. I think that was a punt. Hopefully that didn't cost us the game. I seriously doubt we're going to survive, though. Like, surely they're going to be able to answer our force. I don't think it'll matter that much because they had like arbitrarily large amounts of mana anyway. The alternative, of course, was don't do anything, just attack for 4 and hold up force. And I could have done this at instant speed Yeah, I think that was actually correct. I should have just done this at instant speed, and then I would have had force blue card and force negation up, 2 points of interaction. I likely would have won. Not necessarily won, but like overpowered whatever interaction they had there. But as it is, like it's very difficult for me to imagine they don't have some sort of red blast or something in their hand. The kill. So they have access to 8 mana here. Looks like 9 mana. Fetch. Brainstorm. And they know that at max I'm going to have 1 piece of interaction here. I mean, like, the best thing I could have would be Vodolian Hexcatcher, which would represent, quite a bit of disruption if we needed it. But every creature we sack is one that's not going to be attacking in the... Yeah, there was really no reason to play this out because we had lethal on board, and then I would have this island in hand, and then I would be presenting 2 forces even if I actually only had 1. So I'm going to let them stock up. They are a little bit lower in mana, but they don't need that much mana to Veil. Okay, so I am going to just force this, and then they're going to respond, and then we're going to lose. Yeah, good game. Okay, so questions about your deck. Yeah, 2 Omni. Okay, so they said they have 2 Omni. I asked to see their hand. Their hand was force. So we would not have beaten what they had, regardless of those punts. So that is heartening. Okay, so let's go to round 2 and let's see if we can. Yeah, with the second force and the Veil, they were able to amass a lot of protection. With how important Mistcaller was, I probably could have mulliganed once just to see if I could find it. The deck does mulligan pretty well. Round 2, we're up against a Yorion strategy. On the draw, I think this hand's fine. I'm not going to mull against Yorion generally because they are going to grind. Okay, I am not familiar with this card. This is a new card. 1 mana, 2/1. Vigilance. When this creature enters, each opponent exiles a card from their hand and may play that card for as long as it remains exiled. Each spell cast this way costs 1 more to cast. So if I just... Each land enters tapped. Oh, okay. Yeah, this doesn't actually negatively impact it. This is a really cool card, though. Man, it's powerful. This is a super powerful card. Okay, and man, what a ridiculous card. It's a 2/1 with Vigilance for 1 that also has a positive effect like that. I guess, yeah, man, that just seems incredibly pushed. All right, so our island is over there. I'll just play it out tapped. It shouldn't be a big deal here because we didn't have a 1-drop anyway. Of course, we draw our 1-drop. Do you want to just get on the board? No, I'm just going to play this out. It's dirtily. All right. I mean, it would have been nice to throw the Mistcaller in front of this and stymie their offensive, but Mistcaller is very good against Yorion strategies because it negates the Yorion ability. Man, that card is so strong. It's one of the best hate bearers of all time. I'm not exaggerating. I cannot believe how good this is. Okay, so let's go ahead and play this. I'm just gonna... they've got Felia coming up for sure. I think I probably just want to Flood Pits Felia. No, I'll daze Felia and I will Flood Pits this. Oh, they didn't have Felia. Interesting. So I don't really want to trade my Flood Pit Drowner for something here. I think I'm just going to go ahead and stun this. I'm not going to shuffle it back into their deck, but I will, potentially play a Hexcatcher. Okay. This is great. I'll just daze this. 0 mana to counter their 3 mana spell. Feels good. There's a Mindspring Merfolk. Opportunity here is if we drop the Mistcaller and the Mindspring, then next turn we can attack for a lot off the Master. I like doing that. And that's one of the reasons I like playing a lot of 1/1s, 1-drops in Merfolk, is because we're going to do a lot more damage as a result. So this will be stunned next turn. So 1 on tap, and then we'll be able to hit them for 7 next turn. That'd be pretty cool if that's true. And we can also do the trolley days if they try to overextend. Ghost Quarter. Recruiter is fine. I can't stop that. Stoneforge. Right? Well, Stoneforge is quite good against us because it can go get pre-war and bring that back and hit one of our creatures. That is a land. I'm not going to complain about that. I think we just go ahead and hit them as hard as we can here. It's possible that the Hexcatcher is the better card here than the Master, even though Master does hit for slightly more next turn. Yeah, because this can stop any non-creature spell, so this stops them from being able to cast pre-war, which is pretty good. Also, Mistcaller can negate the upside of pre-war. They'll still have an equipment they can use to equip. Let's go in for combat. Let's see if they have like a plow or something they want to use here. 7 damage, not bad. Plow. I mean, I could just sacrifice one of the creatures, but I'll just daze. Their Vigilance guy is going to be untapped now. Flagstones. They're hard casting a Solitude here. Yeah, that's good. I don't think we have good attacks anymore. We're about to get outvalued. Force is a great pickup, though, because we can force the... what do we want to do? We could just chill and use Mindspring Merfolk after blocks to be able to kill some of their stuff. I don't think we have good attacks. Floodpit Draenor could tap this down and we could attack, but we would lose stuff. I think we have to chill for a turn. So we stop this Stoneforge Mystic. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'll probably pitch... It's probably going to be the Floodpit Draenor, sadly. But I have to stop their 2-for-1. Come on, attack me. Let's take it. This is a cool matchup. Yeah, that has to be countered, unfortunately. And if they have another one, they can go get the pre-war and they can... Yeah, it gets really scary. Let's go and see what they do here. I presume they're going to go after my Mistcaller because that is what stops the combo. Let's go ahead and use his ability. I'm surprised they went after that. Drew an island, which is not going to set the world on fire here. Yeah, I don't know how we dig out of this. Well, let's see. I guess this might do something. I'm just going to crunch in and force them to block as much as they can. Okay, so I get a Spirit token. They take 4. I don't like this illusion token that defaults because it makes it look like the thing has flying. All right, so these are 3/3s. So best draw on our deck is probably another Lord. Let's see what these last 2 cards. If they just go get Yorion, that's fine. They may forget about the Mistcaller's ability. That doesn't do us any good here. Oh, I think we swing with everything. Yeah, let's do it. So, is this a force block? No, they could block this. So, yeah, actually, this is a force block. So I'm going to attack with it. Okay, they have Felia. I can't do anything to stop that, unfortunately. So they can chomp on this. I didn't think Felia might be one of their last cards. I think I mentioned it earlier as something they might have. So what they could... Yeah, I don't know how they're going to block. Yeah, that makes sense. Just take the rest. Interesting, they're sacking Felia. Okay. Okay, they attack with everything. That's fine. Now they're going to Yorion, I suppose. Yorion comes in. Let's see what they blink. They blink both. Shadowy Backstreet. Okay. So I will just sacrifice this. Those creatures won't come back. All right. And now I just need to draw something proactive. Tideshaper. Actually, Tideshaper does it. What a freaking nutty draw. It doesn't actually like straight up kill them, but it is good. I'm going to hit their Ghost Quarter because if I hit anything else, they can just target it. Yeah. Wow, Scoop. This is great. Come in like that. They're at 1. That was a great draw for sure. This is an exciting game. This is still game 1. Wasteland. So they can technically waste that Ghost Quarter, but it won't be enough. They have 1 card left. It has to be like a Solitude. No, it could be like another Skyclave. There are a lot of things they could potentially have. Yeah, all right, we got it. Wow, I did not expect to win that. Okay, so True Name absolutely coming in. True Name is very good here. Harbinger, man, they had a lot of non-basics, didn't they? I'm going to freaking bring this in. Greedy mono white deck with like tons of non-basics. I think Mistcaller can come out completely. I don't know. It's not totally bad. No, we're taking the Dazes out. We dazed them twice. And I'll take out a force. I don't want to be going down cards. I'll take out a Mistcaller. I don't need 4 of them. It's a good card against their deck, though. I mean, I don't know if they realized that I was going to, like, Shadow Realm 2 of their creatures when they blinked. But, like, of course, I'm not going to let Solitude come back in. Okay, this is great because this is all gas. We do have to worry about them somehow getting rid of our Vial. But if this Vial gets to 2, we're just going to be cranking things out. We do have interaction here. They mold us 6. Plains. This guy again. Oh my goodness. What a freaking card. My goodness, this card is so cracked. I still can't believe it. I still cannot believe this. They printed this. It's just so much text for 1 white mana. It's like the new Ragavan. Okay, so maybe it's not the new. I don't think this is going to get banned, but this is extremely powerful. What do we want? So it costs 1 extra mana. I need to get this Vial out. I'm just going to put the Force of Will out there, and I'll just pay an extra mana when I use it. I mean, it does show people face up, but like all these other ones, I need them. I need to be able to Vial them in. I could just force this. That seems excessive. They did go low on resources, though. It seems totally silly. I'm just going to let them have this force. They can hit me a couple times. I don't care about my life total. So, wait, they can cast this. So it's a force spike on my Force of Will. Yeah, I think force is the least impactful card that you can set aside like that. This card is definitely one of the best white creatures printed in since Velia. Okay. Yeah, I mean, like playing this out tapped would have just crimped our game plan so much. Oh my goodness. If they're able to remove this somehow, it's going to be disastrous. But like this, I'm not going to spend this mana for anything else. So I'll be happy to spend it on a force. Don't do it. Don't remove that somehow. All right, good. All right. Second land. That's great. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to chill because I can instep this. Just want to make sure they don't mess with my Vial. Velia messes with my Vial, sadly. I'm just going to force. So I'll pay 1 mana. And I will exile one of these Lord of it. Yeah, because she just blinks my Vial every turn. I'm never going to get to double spelling. And I did get lucky and rip the second land, which I was not guaranteed to get, by the way. So if they Skyclave this, that'll be very sad. Stoneforge, I can't interact with that. I still think it was correct to stop Velia. They are going to go get the pre-war, and I am going to freaking sob. They got Caldera? That's great for me. I mean, like I have a lot more solutions to that than I do to Caldera, or I have more solutions to Caldera than I do to. All right, so I do need to play one of these. Play that out, and I will pass. Then if they attack, I can Vial her in. Caldera is going to be pretty brutal though. So we're looking for one of our Sink into Stupors, or one of our other guys. That may have been a greedy attack, but they may also just have Plow. I think I'm dead if I'm not proactive here. So I'm going to go ahead and activate this. I'm just going to put this Hexcatcher in. This way, if they want to Plow, I can at least stop the Plow. So I'll block here. Do you have the Plow to blow me out? Okay, that's not terrible. Okay, so I'm not going to be using this ability. Okay, that sucks. I'll play these out. There's not really any reason, unless they have the white force spike. Let's attack for 9 here. And we are racing them. But they can just hold back. Actually, they're dead. No, they're not necessarily dead. I wouldn't be attacking with Caldera if I were them, but we'll see what else they have. They have a Skyclave. That does a lot of damage. They should go after this probably, but this is the smallest. Caldera is like the best wall in the world if you need to buy time, and their deck does a lot better when it buys time than my deck does. Okay, so if we can remove this, somehow we can get a 2/2. Okay, and they're playing Disciplined here, not attacking. That's smart. I'm not going to use the ability because I have that card that draws a card, just in case I draw that. Okay, this sucks. We're just chilling. Definitely not going to be hitting their flagstones, but is there a reason to play the Wasteland out? No, I'm going to keep the mystery. So this is a standstill, but they can just go get Yorion and then use Yorion to blink this. The 2-turn line, they need to have another land. Okay, Wasteland is great, so I can waste their Wasteland. A recruiter. That's a good card. I don't think we're winning this game. Anything that gives Island Walk, and we can win. So if we find Solitude, okay, that's a good card. So Solitude, so we no longer win if they are willing to pitch cast Solitude here. So they may have 2 points of interaction. I'm going to triple block this. I can't think of a reason not to. Just to ensure that it dies. Okay, so we get our dude. What was the point of that? Okay, that was just a pointless attack. I'll take it. So come on, give us the guy that gives Island Walk. Please. Or rather, makes islands. Harbinger of the Seas or the other sea guy. Okay, Lord. I think at this point, just to keep them off Solitude, I am going to waste here. This also keeps them off Yorion. Now they need another card to Yorion. If we were to attack here, we'd be hitting for... I mean, the problem is this has first strike, so that automatically reduces the size of these. Would that be 12? There's no way we would get through with enough. They might make the mistake of not blocking, but if they do block stuff, it might make sense to go ahead because we only have one creature to lose here. They pitch cast Solitude. That's okay. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and go for an attack here. This may seem like impatient, but time is not really on our side. Okay, and here they're putting in... What are they putting in? Oh no, they're going to... That's why they attacked with Skyclave. They were going to get another Skyclave back. Okay, pre-war comes in, sadly. Skyclave comes in. Skyclave's a 4/4. Skyclave gets rid of that. Okay, now you go to blocks. That dies. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and do this. I'll put this in. Now they'll just take 2, but that thing does die. No, wait, it doesn't die. Oh my goodness, what a freaking beating. Yeah, that was catastrophic. And now I think we're just dead. Because they can attack for almost lethal. Yeah, that was very sad. And they still have a Solitude in hand. I think we could scoop this up. We're ahead of them, or we're about tied on time. Interesting. So they're keeping that back. Had I waited, let's see what I would draw if I had drawn a different card. It didn't occur to me that they would have the pre-war in hand. They just naturally drew it. Let's see what I would have drawn. Mind Spring is not bad. It does not solve our problem, though. We are still dead. So we can play it out. And then next turn we can draw a bunch of cards. But I'm going to concede. Okay, yeah, that didn't go well. I felt we got lucky drawing as many lords as we did. But that was a very ill-advised alpha strike. I think if we'd hung back, maybe if it felt like, okay, they're going to draw a land and then they're going to be able to Solitude us. And I can't remember if they actually drew the land. But being able to hard cast Solitude is pretty backbreaking. But if they had the pre-war in hand, then they probably just had the game anyway. I don't think there was a lot we could have done about it. You may be asking, why not bring in Consign? I mean, Consign does stop a lot of the triggers in their deck. I still don't think it's worth playing, though. I like this deck as it is. I'm just going to run it. Again, I'm not bringing in Daze because they have tons of mana. The game is going to go long, necessarily. We just have to hope that we can stop enough of their 2-for-1 type. Stoneforge Mystic is really the key card, and Felia. I think if you stop those 2 cards. All right, so this is not a keepable hand. We don't have a way to find more land, so we're going to have to throw that back. This is a keep. So I'm going to keep this, and we're just going to put back... I mean, I hate to say it, but I'm tempted to put back Force. We mulled already. We need this Vial. Or we could put back the Wasteland, and then we just open Vial, and we have Force to protect the Vial. That does mean we won't necessarily have mana to Kicker Tide Chipper. And that is important for the purpose of getting Island Walk for Lord of Atlantis. We could also put back Vial itself. This doesn't feel right. I think I'm going to put back the Force. Yeah, I'm going to put back the Force. It's not essential in this matchup. It's not like we're up against combo, but it can occasionally be really key. So I'm just going to go ahead and play this out. You may be saying like, oh, Mindspring, that's a mediocre card. Why didn't you put that back? And that was the second candidate, I guess. Their own vial, that's fine. We don't have any way of interacting with that other than just bouncing it back to hand with Sink into Stupor. All right, so I am going to go ahead and just make this into an island. And then I can end step Mindspring, and the next turn I can start hitting them pretty hard with Lord of Atlantis. Karakas doesn't affect our deck at all. They may have a double white spell because they tapped and then they untapped. I'm trying to think of what double white spells like. There's no way that they would have what's it called, White Orchid Phantom in there. Oh, this is great for us. This card does nothing against us. Okay, that's fine. Okay, and they have another thing they're putting in here. Is this that one dude? Because the ability goes on the stack. Ugh, it's such a pain. So I can put the Mindspring in, and then I have to put the Hexcatcher out, but I think that's fine. Yeah, I'll put the Hexcatcher out. She's less important. Okay, so it's worth noting another Hexcatcher. That's actually not that bad. So what I can do is I can attack, and then I have Double Lord. That seems pretty good. They could have Solitude. They could absolutely have Solitude. Yeah, I need to get a third land. I'm not going to be wasting them here. They are tapped out. Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and come in, and then with Double Lord, there's no way they can win in combat unless they like multi-block, which would be like extremely heads up. Or if they have Solitude. Yeah, Solitude is the answer. Okay, do you have one of your 4 Solitudes? They've seen 9 cards of their 80 card deck. I think it's like a 25% chance maybe they have a Solitude here, but that would do it. But that would be a pitch cast, a 2-for-1. They do have it. And they are targeting this. So we do gain a life here. But, yeah, this dies. Yeah, they get 2 creatures. That's pretty powerful. All right. And I'm hellbent. Like, I need a land to be able to play this out. Dahlia survives, even though she's not, like, super powerful on this board. Yeah, I could have just attacked with everything and, slow rolled it. Like, or just safely attacked in. I wanted to kill some of their creatures, though. Like, I don't want Dahlia over there for the rest of the game. Just bouncing back to my hand and being able to block all my creatures. Even though her ability is pretty weak against me, like, I don't really have very many. So this is going to connect. Okay, and they're activating Vial here. Please don't be Felia. White Orchid Phantom. They do have it. Okay, that's fine with me. It does reduce the number of lands in my deck, but yeah, so I was correct. Remember, like, they tapped white? I was like, something's up. I was right. I didn't expect them to have that, though. So I'm not going to do this because I think it's a higher likelihood that I draw a... Okay, so I can just attack with everything here, assuming they don't have yet another interaction spell. Yeah, I'll just go ahead and do this now. Because I am... And then I can... Like, man, if they have Plow, it's such a beating. But I'm going to go ahead and attack them for 7 here and hope they don't have Plow. Or another Solitude. All right, that worked. They are taking a lot of damage there over there. See if their squirrely deck can figure out a way around lethal next turn. I sense... I mean, they may just be taking it up anyway, but like Skyclave, I think I've heard that a lot of Death and Taxes style players are playing like 3 of them main deck. So it wouldn't surprise me if they have a Skyclave here, which could strip the Island Walk from one of my lords, which would be catastrophic. Like, I'd lose my entire board basically because this is first strike. This is first strike. This would still get through. I actually think one of my best draws is just another land so I can play this out and hit them for 5. And it's unlikely they're going to be able to remove both of these and take the Island Walk away from this. They said, GG's, we got it. All right. GG's indeed. Super chill deck. And keep grinding the mono white. Like, that new creature is legit. That is fire. And I might even play it. Like, I'll probably play black white because I don't like to play decks that don't have any combo interaction. Like, black is enough in my experience, black white, because then you have Thoughtseize and potentially Kozilek's Inquisition of Kozilek and stuff like that to disrupt the combo decks. So yeah. All right, we're pairing right into round 3. These are some fun games. My goodness. And they're going really quick. We're up against Bryant Cook himself. All right. This guy's the best Storm player on the planet. Literally invented the Epic Storm. So we can trust. I mean, he could be really on anything, but yeah. Yeah, this is a good hand. I'm going to keep this. And I'll just bolt this sink in and play out the vial. And we'll hope that we don't have to pitch our entire hand to stop him. I mean, he could be on some other form of combo, but he's almost always on combo. If you haven't heard of theepicstorm.com. Okay, so he's on some other type of combo. Guys will. Okay, this could still be the Epic Storm. And I'm not sad to see that go over there because that is a slow card. Come on, land. Yes. Check this out. Let's turn that frown upside down. Let's turn that bayou into an island. I think I'm just going to try to tempo him. Because he put this guy's will out. Like, he's not going to live to see his guy's will birthday. Because we're hitting for 4 next turn. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and drop the Tide Shipper. And the best thing we could draw here would just be a Lord. Especially the Lord where we can sack Vidolian Hexcatcher. Take that up. Oh my goodness. What a ridiculous draw. Like I said, it was the best thing we could draw, and we drew it. Freaking insane. So we're going to hit for 6 here. This has 3 counters. Yeah, they're taking exactly 7 twice. So they will be dead before this goes off. Petal. Mox. They're trying to combo. Mox. They put Song of Creation under here. I think they're just straight up Epic Storm. Burning Wish under the other Mox. Veil of Summer. I'm not falling for this trap. So now we can still stop whatever they're doing with the Hexcatcher. They know it. All right, and they're passing. This is great for us. So their storm count is going to dissipate. Mistcaller. Unnecessary to cast. Let's keep it in our hand. No, wait. We should cast it because it's an additional Force Spike effect. So we have to be careful because we need to make sure we have 7 power on the table to kill them. If they get Guy's Will back, I'm not sure what that means. Okay. I have to let this go. It's rare that I see Bryant Cook think this much. Like in his videos, they're all edited just like mine are. Whenever I'm not talking, it gets edited out. But he's been like thinking quite a bit. So I feel proud to make Bryant Cook think about how to play his Storm deck. I will go to like literally 1 creature if I need to. Next turn he gets Guy's Will, which does allow him to... He doesn't have black mana initially. No, wait, he has Petal into Dark Writ. So he'll have quite a bit of mana next turn. So if this is like a Beseech the Mirror or something like that, I will have to counter it, but that means we're probably dead. I'm going to let this gamble go. He can use gamble next turn for Guy's Will. To go get yet another, So if he gets it and he wants to spend all his mana spinning, I think I'll let him. Okay, there we go. Oh, wow. What do we do here? Is it deterministic that he's going to have... So he does have blue. So he can gamble. Red mana for gamble. Then he can Petal Dark Writ. So he's got 2 mana floating. We don't know what his last card are. So we'd have to sacrifice 2 things to stop this. Gosh, it's so hard. Yeah, let's see. We'd have to sacrifice 3 things. Basically everything except this itself. And then, again, he just redoes it next turn. I think we see if he whiffs. We still have plenty of like stopping power here. All right, we got a Force. That's good. We got more stuff we can put into play. We just have to stop. We definitely have to stop Veil. Oh my goodness, we're getting... I mean, my pauses probably tell him that I have interaction. Okay, he's at 6 now. That's less that we need. He could just naturally draw Tendrils and win that way. I could start copying some of the copies of it, but he does have LED, so he could just pay for everything. Okay, is this Veil? That is a natural Tendrils. It's not lethal, right? He gains a bunch of life. Oh, next turn he can Guy's Will, and he can Tendrils me again. I just forced the guy's will. Let's think about this. So can we do enough damage? 1, 2. I think we can just kill him here before his next turn. So we're definitely going to, so I'm definitely putting this Silvergill in. So we get a card. Mindspring Merfolk. Okay. So we're going to go to draw. Daze is a nice pickup. Yeah, so what I think we do is we just go boom, boom. Then we go ahead and do this. I think this is lethal. Yeah, very lethal. Okay. Wow. -4. That was a close game. I'm glad I let him go. All right. So Force Negation comes in for sure. Harbinger is not terrible because it does stop like Consign has got to come in. Oh my goodness. What do we not bring in? I mean, all this stuff is so tasty. I don't know about Harbinger. I think it's probably all right. Okay, so let's talk about what's not coming in. Mindspring is too slow. Mistcaller does nothing. It's not disruptive at all in meaningful ways. We do like Flood Pit Drowner doesn't really do anything. He's not gonna have creatures. So we are going light on threats, but all our threats scale. Harbinger, I don't know about Harbinger actually. Let's take a look. So now we have tons of stack interaction. But Vial's practically part of our mana base, but he's not going to counter anything off of it. I think I take out the Vials. And everything's like 1 or 2 mana. We have tons of free spells. So I will bring the Mindspring back in, and I'll bring the Mistcaller back in, since those are cheap to cast. And so now we have like 1-drops, they get buffed. Yeah, I think this is the configuration I feel happiest with. That was a close game. Gosh, what a rush. Playing against the best Storm player on the planet. I'm not sure he's the best, but he's definitely thought to be the best. This hand is fine. If he sends, we're just screwed. And he could send. I think this is a very commodity hand. There's nothing special about this hand. Let's see if we do better. This hand's bad. We don't necessarily have a second. I mean, we're going to draw. We have 19 lands in our deck. 18 after this. 53. Can't cast anything other than the Mindspring, which does nothing. If we start chaining Silvergills, it's all right. I am a little worried about mulliganing deeper. Let's put back one of the Lords. Because we're going to want to like slam these Silvergill repeatedly. And if he just has like a Thoughtseize, okay, let's see if he goes for it. He could have turn 1 protected. Yeah. Land, please. I don't deserve it, but that's a good card. Do I want to get on the board? Yes, I do. Just in case I rip. It's because a lot of time off. Yeah. And this, it may not seem like a lot, but he does do damage to himself, like fetching, and like chipping 1 damage a turn is pretty good. It's not pretty good. It sucks, but okay. Tendrils in the yard. So now Guy's Will is the way, or I guess he just shuffles his deck and that does it too. Come on, land, please. Oh, no. All right. We've got lots of interaction. I'm just going to attack and I'll pass. Yeah, we've got plenty of stack interaction now. We just have to hope he goes for it vigorously. But he's an exceptional player. He's not going to go if we're not putting any pressure on him. He'll just sculpt. Guy's Will to the yard. Okay, so he's definitely all in on giving us a new hand. Unfortunately, I do think I have to counter this. I probably should have pitched the Master, actually. That was probably loose for me to pitch the Silvergill. Okay, there we go. Now just Silvergill. Reveal that. All right, that's a good card to draw. So we just have to make it through this turn, and then I think we'll be okay. Dark Rit. He has Veil. Gamble. Chromox. Okay, all in. Wait, RuneScape. This can't be countered. Yeah, he talked about this in one of his videos. It's like a way of like, yeah, I mean, that's very strong. I did get another Force though. Probably not enough, but he does have access to green mana here. Okay, not green mana. Any LEDs or petals that we're going to be playing out here? I wish it would show the storm count. I don't know what the storm count is. Underground Sea is the land drop. Silence. I'm going to negate that. Tendrils is in the yard here. Petal. This daze is not going to do anything. I was hoping it to slow him down a little bit, but he's probably still going to go for like, let's daze it. And then if he has a 0-drop in hand, do you have a 0-drop in hand? I can blast this if I get a single turn. Okay, I think he's going to be able to win now. Gets 2 cards. He can embed, and he can cast a 1-drop or... Okay, another one. Dark Red. I think this is the end of the game. He's up to 6 cards now, or 4 cards. I can't imagine a whiff from here. We're done. That was cool. It's cool to watch the master at work. All right. So what I'm going to do here, I don't have any substitutions. I didn't see anything surprising at all there, except for the Hellkite thing, which was very cool. I didn't anticipate that. That was a very low resource, scrappy game. I'm just going to run it back. These blasts, it feels like I've got way too many blasts, but he is playing, several red cards. Okay, this is fine. This is a fine hand. So I'm going to keep... I think we do lead with the island here. And then the Tide Shipper. Let's think about this. I think most likely it's the blue elemental blast that gets pitched. Gosh, this Tide Shipper is so stinky, though, if he doesn't fetch. I think I want to give it a turn for blast to be relevant. Because, screwing up his mana is probably worth. Okay, and he's not taking any action here. Do I even want to Tide Shipper? I think I do. I think what I do is I float this Wasteland out. I don't think he has any non-basics in his deck, and now he can't Surveil. And now we still have 3 points. And it's not a good card. Okay. He knows I was going to waste that anyway. He chose the weakest land in his deck there. He's on a 5-color pile, which is interesting. So it is quite likely that he just would have avoided ever making, turning Tide Shaper on. Let's go ahead and turn this into island. Do you want to do a gamble or anything? I think gamble might actually be a sorcery. They didn't give it the full in. Okay, another one. LED is fine. So I do have double interaction up. I don't want to have to use it all, though. Dark Ritual. Dark Ritual. Oh, no. Is this the Hellkite thing? Yep. They had the Hellkite in hand. That's brutal. Because I had, so much interaction that doesn't matter anymore. Okay. Let's see if I wheel into anything useful. I don't. This hand's totally dead. This does nothing. I mean, the daze is not absolutely nothing, but it's not good. So they have blue, and then they have black-red. Burning Wish. I let it happen. They have 1 black floating. They don't have this turned on yet. Thoughtseize. Do I just want... Yeah, I want to daze this. Because Consign can still save my butt next turn. Okay. Wow, I cannot believe how strong that freaking Hellkite is. Both of these games. It's been insane. All right. I think what we do here is we do drop the Mistcaller. The reason we drop the Mistcaller is because it significantly ups our clock when we drop the Lord the next turn. And we've got plenty of cards to pitch to force here. Commercial District. Okay, great. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I am going to drop the Lord to speed things up. Now we'll attack for 5 instead of 3. We have Consign up, but they might get that vibe. But they've seen that we have blue elemental blast. So they may think that we're playing blasts. I have to stop this, unfortunately. They could Veil here. They don't. They may not be on Veil. Another one. I think this game, I can't imagine us surviving. Yeah. Didn't expect to lose the Storm with this deck, but it's a risk. So we can't cast a single spell. It doesn't matter. Consign doesn't do anything here. So we just have to hope he bricks. This hand freaking insane, but we can't cast anything. He has 2 mana floating. So it's possible. I don't believe he's making this land drop yet. Yeah, I'm not going to hold out hope. I think we might as well F6. I mean, we can't cast spells. That's what Silence reads. Opponents can't cast spells this turn. It is way stronger than Veil from that respect. We could Consign around Veil because we're just targeting a trigger. We're 1 damage away from killing them too. If we got this Master in next turn. Wow, we did it! GG's. I don't think he's going to show me his hand, but I would love to see it. Okay, yeah, he would have shown it to me by now. He's a busy dude. He He does like, I think he said he does like 90 matches a week or something in preparation for Eternal Weekend. So he's almost certainly going to be playing Storm there. Yeah, wow. I can't believe I definitely thought our goose was cooked after that silence, but he bricked. Well, there has been a very disturbing uptick in Eldrazi recently, and I think that's most likely what we're up against. This hand has the extremely awkward, like we didn't get one of our 11 islands, plus a days hand. I think my opponent's 4-0. So, Silvergill Master doesn't do anything because we're not going to have Island Walk. I think this is a mulligan. I'm trying to put my finger on why it's a mulligan, but I think this Daze is already a dead card. And I don't like paying 3 life against an Eldrazi deck. If they are on Eldrazi, this is much better. So I'll put back one of the Dazes. And then I'll just play out this Mind Spring. Then what we can do next turn is we can scale it up. If we don't have to Daze something, which we almost certainly will. Flip Pit Drowner is great. But you do need to do it during their turn. Oh, what? They're not on Eldrazi. Okay, well, they've been playing a ton of Eldrazi in Modern, so I figured they might be playing it here. But like a lot of times people will criticize me looking up opponents. Oh, it leads you down the wrong path. A lot of times it's not correct. It's correct more often than it's wrong, is what I will say to that. Right. And now we have a nice swing here for 2. And next turn we can do the exhaust ability. If we want to, we can even wait to the end step and make sure that there's no need for a day, like a Flip Pit Drowner on something. This smacks of desperation. I'm gonna let it go though, because like the thing is, like even if they find a land, we're gonna be hitting them a lot. Okay, they found an Ancient Tomb, so something tells me this is maybe like what the heck deck is this? It might be just like Omniscience, Omnitell. That's a bad rip. So I think what we do here is we do go ahead and just vow. I mean, it's never going to... We don't have Brainstorm in our deck. It's not like we can like put it back. And then I'll attack for it to everything. And then I have Flip Pit Drowner for the instep. And then I can exhaust and do a lot of damage and draw 1 or more cards. But that'll put power on Flip Pit Drowner as well for attacks. Ouch. That is a painful Lorien revealed. They're 12. Unfortunately, if they have Show and Tell, there's not a lot I can do to stop it. I can Daze here. I actually don't think that's what I want to do. I want to Daze their next play. Assuming it's not Omniscience. Okay, so this might be like an Emrakul or something. Omniscience, of course. Yeah, there's nothing we can do about this, sadly. Yeah, that's game. About this wait. Maybe not. Let's see. We are hitting them for a lot with the exhaust. Enough. This doesn't have Island Walk. We would need to get. They've got the Omniscience out. We'll see their deck. Let's take a look. Because a lot of people in the comments are like, "Why did you concede before you get to see their thing?" I mean, we're definitely dead, but because okay, Veil. This is an Ugly Force. One Ring. Okay, we've seen enough. One Ring is definitely going to let them ride that out. Okay. So, this matchup, Consign to Memory, is pretty good against One Ring strategies. It can stop triggers. Tritium Nemesis, I don't think we need it. I do want these Force Negations, though. We didn't see any red. They're on the blue-green list. Cards that come out. Mistcaller. I mean, they do have Show and Tell into... But they Omni. I'm pretty sure they Omni and they just... I'm not sure that they would actually... that this is that relevant. But let's talk about what's not relevant. Flip Pit Drowner probably not mattering here. Because like the game was over, even though we had the Flip Pit. If they had put that in first and we've been able to Flip Pit, that would have maybe been relevant, but it wouldn't have because it would have just gotten the One Ring and gotten protection. And then burned off the stun counter over the course of 2 turns. And they would have had lots of things they could do with the One Ring. Go find another One Ring, go find another Atraxa, go find an Emrakul and kill you. So I don't think we were going to win that. I think we could just peel some of these Lord of Atlantis. Maybe we do keep the Mistcaller in just out of respect. It does feel awkward to bring in Consign when It really just stops the One Ring. Stops Emrakul triggers. Yeah, I think maybe 2 consigns is fine. Then we bring it back onto the Lord. Yeah, I'll do that. I am happy that we have such a high blue count. This is a no-lander. Let's mulligan this. This is a much better hand. So I'm going to put back... It may seem weird, but I'm actually going to put back the Master of the Pearl Trident because I want to be like getting on board and drawing cards at the same time. And this does buff me, but it doesn't... Like Mistcaller forces them to go find Omniscience. They can't win off of a non-Omniscience line. They can't like show and tell into Emrakul or show and tell into Atraxa if I have Mistcaller out, because I'll just sacrifice for sure. I'll just to prevent them from doing that. So I don't think they would try that. They would definitely have Omni in hand if they were going to attempt to show and tell. So this is a great way of like forcing them to do that. So I'll put back the Master, and then Silvergill will reveal Silvergill, and then hopefully that'll reveal a creature that we can reveal with Silvergill. Otherwise, we can always pitch Silvergill to force. 2 lands is all our deck needs. We don't actually use any 3-drops in the main deck configuration. Okay, so we're going to keep this. Opponent thought very hard, and then they kept their mull to 6. Or they decided to mull. Okay, so we keep 6. All right. So we get on board. I love Silvergill whenever there's not a Bowmaster on the other side of the table. If they force here, I'll know they're ready to party. All right, we're in. Ancient Tomb. Love to see Ancient Tomb here when I'm playing an aggro deck. Lord of Atlantis is great. Let's go ahead and just reveal him while we get more power on the table. The Lord is always like, it's always nice to slam that down after you have a lot of stuff on the table, just to buff everything. Oh, wow. Yeah, we're going to keep the threats coming while also keeping our hand stacked. Hopefully drawing some more of our many force effects. We have 7. An ouchie for a Lorien revealed end step. So if they show and tell here, I will just force it. I'm not going to... And I think at this point it is okay to throw out a... Oh, I need to rebuild. Yeah, I'll throw that out. Okay. They force back. So now they have Omniscience for sure. But just in case they don't, I do need to sacrifice this. But now I can't put in my Silvergill. So I'm not going to put anything in. And I'm just going to hope that they were bluffing. Nope, they had the Omni. Good games. Wow, that was brutal. That sucked. I feel like we have a pretty good matchup there, and that didn't feel good. Yeah, that was quite a good mull to 6. If they had show and tell plus the mana to cast the show and tell, plus they had, yeah, it was a lot. All right, now this is the Eldrazi player, most likely. And I do like Tide Chipper against Eldrazi. I think I sink... No, because I need to have days up. I don't want to have to freaking... I think I just put this into play tapped. And if they waste, they waste. Would they waste right off the bat? I don't want to take 3 against Eldrazi. I am going to take 3. Yeah, and I've got days if I absolutely need to. Like if they dropped like a Chalice of the Void or something like that. Okay, well, I'm going to force that. I guess maybe I shouldn't have bothered, like... Yeah... Okay, we'll do that. Because now what we'll do here is I'm going to play this. And the reason I did this is very important to give them a island. They're not going to naturally have an island. Let's play this out. I will pay the 3 life, sadly. Then I'm going to turn that into an island. And then once we draw one of our 8 Island Walk Lords, then we can start bashing them. They currently have 0 colorless sources. There. That's a really good one. My goodness. Okay, what is this? Thought-Knot Seer? All right. Well, the good news is we can get rid of Thought-Knot Seer. The bad news is, let's see, when this leaves play or field. So when we shuffle it back in, we will get a card. They'll probably take a Flood Pit Runner, I would imagine. Oh, okay. All right, so options. I think I play this out tapped. I'm going to need the mana sooner or later. So we could just tap and attack. We get on board with more combat damage. And then subsequent turn, I'm just going to play this tapped. Okay. And now I'm just going to chill. And when they go to combat, that's when I'll Flood Pit Drowner. Because I do need to clear this. It's bigger than anything my deck can produce at this point Gosh, so much mana. There's no reason. No, yeah, we have to tap now if we don't want them to attack. Another one. Unbelievable. Oh, Wastegate. Bounce to my hand. That's fine. That does mean they don't have an island anymore. Okay, so we can do both of these. No, we can't. Okay, so they know exactly what's in my hand. I'm not going to get them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and attack. They're going to block. It doesn't matter. If they just let it through for some reason, that's great for me. Okay, more important. We get our card. That goes away. Okay, that's good. Now, I will go to post-combat, blue, Tide Shaper, and we will turn this Eldrazi Temple so they have to pay life when they do stuff. Next turn, we have Floodpit Drowner to stun a creature they play out. Oh, man, they've got so much mana. Please don't have big things to do with it. Okay, that's very lucky. I'm going to come in here. Syncing to Stupor is actually not bad. No, it's pretty bad, actually. Like, almost everything they have has an ETB trigger. Go like this. Lord of Atlantis. Go in for a hug. And we'll wait on the Floodpit Drowner. There's no point in playing it right now. They scooped. Yeah, that's great. I didn't even want to look at our hand. Okay. So True Name definitely comes in. True Name's really good against Eldrazi. They can't get rid of him, and he just haunts them straight up. Mistcaller sucks against them. Harbinger is very good. Daze is bad. Consign comes in. Yeah, Harbinger comes in. Consign comes in. Yeah, I think we just take all the Mistcallers out. So we're going a little bit bigger on the curve. We're going to try to make this game last a little longer. We got lucky they had so much mana and so little business. That may not be the case this time. Yeah, I feel like all these cards are good. Hexcatcher is kind of weak because it might snipe like a K command. This is like one matchup where I think, oh yeah, Floodpit. Floodpit really shines in this map. So I'm going to definitely start with the Vial and just hope we get to Consign if they have a slow start. Okay, they have a slow start. That's good for us. Another Vial, that sucks. They do have the way to like exile this too, but I need to get the Vial down and get it taken up. So this is the danger zone turn. Scary Land. Wow, that is so lucky that they didn't have a creature there. They do probably have a K command, I imagine. So yeah, I think I just go ahead. It's possible I need to stop at a trigger. I'm just gonna play this out. Not have all my eggs in one basket because they can freaking exile like artifacts and enchantments with colorless mana. Or they need green mana for that, but Petal. Okay, they have green mana now. They can exile or Vial if they want. Really? Nothing? How about we don't? They were going to Surveil. They paid a lot of life for that. One of these can go all the way up to 3, since we do have 4 3-drops in our deck now. We didn't have those earlier. Wasteland. Hell yeah. This card freaking rocks right here. Oh, they just scooped. Yes. This is a 3-2. Beating freaking the Epic Storm. I'm proud of that. Losing to the... Did we lose to the white deck or did we beat it? I can't remember. We did lose to the Omni Show. That was disappointing. Overall thoughts on the list. This feels like the best version I've played. I love that it just gets down to scrappy and then it has its 3-drops on the side. I think this is the balance we needed to strike here. Going down to 19 land is nice because, yeah, we did get I think maybe just one no-lander. Maybe there were like a few that were kind of semi-functional. But like the whole point of playing Vial is you just have one land and you play the Vial. And then you're able to waste them. And yeah, like you're living dangerously playing this way, frankly. But I think you need to live dangerously right now. I think my old safe version, the Merfolk, that has tons of 1-drops and like curves out perfectly to like True Name. First of all, True Name doesn't matter against most of the meta. It really is just something you bring in against control decks or Barragoyf decks. Consign definitely came up there. Like that was huge, stopping their K command. I don't like this card. Frankly, I wish it didn't need to be played, but it still does. And the fact that like I keep encountering Eldrazi, it's crazy. It's like nobody was playing Eldrazi for a while, and now a lot of people are playing it. So that might be a coincidence, but yeah, This also addresses Karnforge, which is, I think, now the number 3 deck. The top deck is still Blue-Black Reanimator. The second deck is Moon Stompy, and the third deck is Karnforge. And this addresses Karnforge, and it would have been relevant against the Epic Storm. Bryant Cook had he not cast Silence. We just got lucky winning against him, but that's part of like live by the Echo of Eons, die with the Echo of Eons, right? I'm not sure that this Grafdigger's Cage is necessary. It never came in. Granted, we didn't play. I did play against Blue-Black Reanimator in a game that I didn't record, and I just destroyed them with Mistcaller. So maybe like 4 Mistcaller main deck is enough that you don't need to have a Grafdigger's Cage, but it is 1 mana, and like you're not going to draw redundant ones. I feel like it's okay to just have like yet another card that, and also this is good against like Dredge. Heaven forbid you encounter that. The 3 Force Negation, like I wish I had a 4th one, but I do like to have True Name and I do like to have Harbinger. I think 2 Harbinger is very, justified right now with Eldrazi out there and Karnforge. And sometimes you encounter like mono white players or mono red players that are just extremely greedy in their mana based composition. These blasts felt good. We didn't encounter a Moon Stompy deck here, but we easily could have. I think that the blasts are basically our removal. I mean, we're not a removal deck. We don't have any way to remove creatures, or we shouldn't, but thank goodness Flood Pit Drowner was printed. This card, again, so good against so many different decks. This card has just been great for me. And it seems like underwhelming, like, because if you think about it, like you really have a very narrow window to exile the creature, but a lot of times you don't even care about it. You're just attacking through and just ignoring the creature and not even getting rid of it. So it's very good in this tempo type shell. I really wish we didn't have to play 4 main deck Mistcrawler, because I would much rather play like more Mindspring Merfolk. I think this card is really good. I think we did use it once during the league, but like the fact that it's a 1-drop, I mean, obviously we saw that white deck. I'm going to go brew a freaking white deck with that creature. That new creature is so insane. So look for a list like that. Again, this is no reserve list. You can build this deck really cheap. The only expensive cards in the entire deck really are the Force of Wills and the Force Negations. I think pretty much everything here is extremely inexpensive, like, $2 or $3 a card. Inexpensive. And Wastelands, it's been reprinted so much. I don't know how much it costs, like maybe $15 or something. Yeah, I don't have anything to say. Like, I think this spread is great. I didn't miss having True Name main deck. I think True Name is very relevant. Like, you get paired against Jeskai Control. You get paired against Eldrazi, stuff like that. Like, True Name suddenly is great to have in your sideboard. I think 2 of them is fine. It's hard to get to 3 mana. It's hard to keep to stay alive long enough for Vial to take all the way up to 3. I don't think you want to necessarily have 4, but 3 would be reasonable. I've been playing 3 in a lot of my lists. I don't know. Like, this feels like this is definitely the best feeling Murktide, or best feeling Merfolk deck that I've played in the past few weeks. And I've tried a lot of different variations. I want to thank the commenter who really encouraged me to, I can't remember your name, I'm sorry, but you were telling me you were playtesting with your brother and that you all were extremely impressed with Flood Pit's Drowner. I think I slept on this card, frankly. Like, this is so much stronger in practice than it looks in theory. It looks very meh, especially 2-1. It dies to Bowmaster. Nobody plays Bowmaster right now. Nobody's playing Bowmaster. We saw 0 Bowmasters that league, right? Bowmaster is an incredible card, but nobody's playing it because everybody's busy playing their combo decks and doing the ships passing in the night Magic the Gathering that all of us control gamers do not love. But yeah, we didn't encounter oops a single time there. That was nice. Again, I did play a league before this just to make sure my audio video setup was okay and stuff. And I did encounter blue-black Reanimator there. Very one-sided, like just a clean 2-0. Or actually, no, I think they did win a game where they just Entomb Reanimated immediately. So, you're going to lose those, unfortunately. But so it was a 2-1. But the games that I won were extremely decisive. Thanks, Mistcaller. Mistcaller also, I was playing against somebody that was playing they were playing like the mono black reanimator, but they had like blue as a juke, and they would like show and tell. And they were extremely frustrated with this card. It's like, how the heck do I ever beat this card? And I'm like, you don't. That's the point. You don't beat Mistcaller. I put Mistcaller in here to destroy your deck. And destroy it. It did. This card, again, just so powerful. Just having like a conditional. I mean, we saw it in action even against the Yorion deck. They exiled their Recruiter of the Guard. They exiled their Solitude. And then, of course, we just sacrificed our then 4/4 Mistcaller. I mean, it was not like it was still a big decision to sack it, but obviously it's going to get Solitude anyway. That felt great. Man, a lot of really exciting games in this league. Yeah, I hope you're having fun. Hope you're building some cool budget brews, or if you have access to reserve list cards, building some really cool control builds. Look for a lot more aggro, a lot more control on the channel. And we're going to keep it combo free for the most part. Although I was tinkering with like High Tide Reset, but you can't really do that. No reserve list, because there's this card Meditate. That's like a $4 card, but it is a reserve list card technically. So you can't call it no reserve list. I mean, I think if that deck ever got popular, the price of Meditate would spike and probably never come down. Somebody would just speculate it. Like, who's that guy, Rudy, that like Alpha Investments or something like that? I can't remember the name of his channel, but like he just bought like all the intuitions. He's like, I'm just stockpiling intuitions. I'm like, thanks, dude. Thanks for making intuition like a $200 card legacy players can't get, because they're all just sitting in your basement or whatever. Like that's the problem with reserve list cards is like, if you play any reserve list cards and you have success, people are going to want to do that. And then the price is eventually going to go up, and there's no way for a, supply side, relief to come and bring the price back down. Like Force of Will, if they never reprinted it, would be like a $200 card, but they've reprinted it a ton of times. So it's like a $60 card, right? Same thing with like, Days, for example. Even though it was a common, it was a pretty expensive common, but they've reprinted it so much that it's Aether Vial, stuff like that. So the reprint system, like them being able to gradually reprint stuff, is a huge windfall. Wastelands, I didn't think they were ever going to reprint them when I got mine as like a teenager, or, I was like, oh, awesome. And I like stockpiled them, and sure enough, the prices kept going up. But then I think they've reprinted it like 30 times or something. It's in like the Fallout set. It's everywhere. Anyway, I'll stop blathering on. I hope you're having a great day. And until next time, be excellent to each other and party on.